Hello, everyone. Welcome to another race in the All Skills tournament. Today we have a pretty nice match: RhinoFeeder against MrHug. I'm Water. I'm here with my co-commentator TK.
Hello.
We will be basically your tour guides as our two runners. We'll collect all the skills and then kill the Hollow Knight.
Yeah.
All right. I will ping our runners for the countdown now. In the meantime, we can talk a little bit about the runners while they get started, because it's gonna take a minute or two until we actually see the run start. So Rhino currently has a PB of 51:01, and besides that is also a very skilled runner in several other main categories. And MrHug actually today got a PB of 1 hour and 2 minutes and 16 seconds.
Yeah, I'm excited to see if MrHug can keep just keep it going and then PB again today. That'd be very exciting.
We would love to see a PB change. All right. Rhino has said he's going to the main menu now, so I'll be waiting a few more seconds until we start the countdown.
All right, looks like we're starting the countdown, and then we're just gonna have to wait a little bit because of stream delay, but just assume that they're off, and we'll see it in a minute.
Yeah. From experience, it'll take about 30 seconds. So I've just sent the go message, and now we're just gonna basically wait it out.
For a second, I thought Rhino was gonna pick Steel Soul. We'd have another disaster on our hands.
That brings back
Painful
memories.
memories.
But yeah, no, both runners will be on normal mode because the game actually requires, or this run actually requires you to die about a quarter of the way through.
We will be funny about it, don't worry. But yeah,
Oh
you
yeah,
do it. Yeah.
we will make jokes no one has ever made before.
No, no one has. It looks like Rhino is off MrHug just a little bit later.
Yeah,
Probably due to just more stream delay.
There will be an initial sync, I believe, sometime during King's Pass. And after that, the load normalizer that both of the runners hopefully have enabled should do the rest of the work.
So now we see both runners in the most fun area of the game, King's Pass. You can get your people arrives out in chat. And as we see, Rhino coming up to probably one of the only notable parts, minus the softball. And he gets pretty good RNG off that Vengefly, being able to poke out faster.
Yeah, he made it through very expertly.
MrHug, unfortunately, I guess he saw that the Vengefly was probably too far left and just decided, you know what, I'll go around. And gets the softball too. And it looks like Rhino's going up for the sink.
Okay, so yeah, this section is basically just a masterclass on good movement. Like if you're really good with your movement, you can get consistent 51-second times here, like Rhino did. MrHug got a 55-second time, which is also pretty respectable in the tournament setting.
Alright, and now you'll see, you might be wondering, hey, why are these runners just jumping around all of a sudden all randomly? That's because Dirtmouth, it has a slow zone, so as you're walking across it, you move a lot slower, but when you're jumping through it, you don't get slowed down. And believe it or not, the point of a speedrun is to go fast. So we want to buffer jumps as much as possible to avoid getting slowed down. Ooh, and a very nice inventory drop from Rhino. Oh, and no hits from Hug as well.
Yeah, two pretty good inventory drops. None of the Gruzzers decided to be rude today.
Now, Rhino, he's made a guide on this double spike kill that very quickly became a copy pasta. And good thing he hit it, because otherwise, you know, the embarrassment you'd feel from that after making the guide on it.
Oh, Rhino would be in shambles.
Hmm.
Huck gets a single spike kill and manages to kill the other Aspid quickly enough to
Good
not.
recovery.
Yeah. So, you know, Rhino as an any percent runner, as a top level any percent runner, in fact,
Top 4.
he's going to have a very good early game. There is no doubt about it.
Yes, for a brief period of time, he had the fastest early game on the board up to Mantis Claw until current world record holder Pest took it from him.
You have to admire that. His early game was good enough to compete with basically the world record holder.
Mm-hmm.
Not even basically, literally the world record holder.
Looks like MrHug accidentally did a side slash instead of a down slash on the statue pogo, which unfortunately did not lead to the pogo part of it.
And next up, we have the False Knight boss fight. Okay, fight is putting it
Yeah, in quote.
kind of loosely.
Mm-hmm. In reality, we just kind of hit him enough times till he falls over, and then we just leave.
Yeah, in multiple main categories, False Knight is really a non-issue.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're seeing some lag spikes on Rhino's
Yeah.
stream.
But
We'll
as
see
you
if
see,
it gets
he's.
better.
Mm-hmm. But as you could kind of see, you can break that door on the side and just immediately leave. And you can probably see it a little better on Hug's side. Mm-hmm.
There's no games. That is strange. I hear something definitely in
Yeah,
the
I hear
background
something
here.
for us, yeah.
I think Rhino's audio might actually be a little bit too quiet.
Maybe. Should we switch to Hugs?
We should generally use the one of the
We should,
runner
but if
who's
they
ahead.
can't hear it.
Also, that was a pretty damn good vengeful spirit
Yeah, that
we
was
saw on Rhino's part. What was that?
phenomenally
331?
good. I think so, yeah. Now we're seeing him moving up through Ancestral Mound. Alright, looks like Liz is on it. Yeah, Lysandra. Yeah, we're seeing Rhino move up through Ancestral Mound, MrHug just arriving there. And here you'll see one of the factors that can you can just lose time for no reason. It's the Balder Spits. Basically, these big enemies that you'll see at the end here, you can only hit them with fireballs, and they have a chance to drop a little enemy that you need to get your fourth final fireball to kill. As you see from Rhino there, despite it, I think, being a 50% chance, you can get just really unlucky for no reason.
Yeah, that was not particularly lucky. A fourth spit you generally don't want to see. But in a tourney setting, you'll have to accept it. You'll have to run with the RNG.
Yeah, I bet you Rhino's pretty mad right now because I know that he just hates not getting a first spit. Which, I mean, you know, it makes sense. But MrHug, he'll gain a little bit of time back here because he does get the first spit.
Very nice. Anything to keep the race as close as possible.
So now the good thing is, since we're running on 1-2-2-1, we don't have to deal with this second Balder. We can just kill him by cheating. If only you could kill the first one like that. It'd make this game so great.
Oh, society, if the first Balder was skippable, imagine it.
Oh, I know the just you know the image. Alright, and we did see a fireball skip from Rhino there. That's just a little trick that helps us get to green path just a little quicker.
Yeah, there is exactly 3 of them in the all skills route, and all 3 of them are in the green path section.
We'll see. Rhino might want to hit these birds just to get full soul. He'll probably, yeah, gets one, and then he can just get another up there. So good from him. Full soul going into the next fireball skip. He'll probably only do 2.
Yeah, Hug, meanwhile, missed the first fireball skip. It doesn't matter too much, luckily. The first fireball skip is the least significant one.
See him in a bit of a tight position. Unless, yeah, I was gonna say unless he starts specifically killing these what I think are Mossy-kin. I have no idea what their names are.
Speedrunner mindset. The names aren't optimal.
There you go. Rhino hits the third and final fireball skip, so now he's moving up toward Venge Viking, but we don't do him in this category. We get to leave Zote to die, which is so sad, seeing as he's the best NPC.
Surely.
I might see a neat trick from Rhino. He might try and double this Moss Knight, which instead of using all 3 of his soul, he gets it. He only has to use 2.
Yeah. That worked out pretty well, I would say.
Yeah. Alright. It looks like MrHug got the 3rd fireball skip. I couldn't really tell because it was frozen a bit on our end.
Now for the best or worst part of the game, however you want to view this. Neglect. That is all I have to say about this.
Like if you cry every time.
Oh, Rhino got the bad Moss Knight RNG.
Very unfortunate.
Knows how to keep the Moss Knight away from him. With 2 mid-sized jumps, the Knight should always be able, or should always jump back. No matter what happens.
That's the cool thing about seeing top runner in all categories run in a race setting. You get to see the adaptation in real time.
Oh dear. MrHug's footage is currently not updating. Oh, there we go.
The legendary teleportation technique coming back in full force.
Never before seen. Oh, wow.
He's going for it again.
Rhino's just doing the Hornet double hits right now.
Beautiful fight. This might be a sub-8 Mothwing Cloak. Alright, I think, yeah, this is sub-8.
Solid. That is a 751 cloak.
That's a beautiful green path split. That just...
You know what the funny thing is? I actually think this isn't pace for Rhino.
I don't think it is either. There was so much more that he could have done, especially with that bad RNG, and that just shows you like how insane he is at this game. That 751 is not on pace for him.
Alright, meanwhile, Hug is coming up on the very same Hornet fight.
Yeah, we'll see how he handles it. Luckily, there's a pretty consistent cycle you can do to just keep Hornet staggered for basically most of the fight.
It's not really that slow compared to trying to go for double hits, and it usually works out pretty safely. It looks like Hug is taking more of an improvisational approach here. But it's not going poorly. I have to add that.
And then we see the static slash from Rhino. I don't think I've ever seen that give a hard fall, but I mean, you learn something new every day. And we see Hug pick up Mothwing Cloak at what I think is 902.
So already, we have a difference of about a minute. It would have to take a death for a Hug to catch up now. I think we're in that kind of territory now where it actually takes a death.
Yeah, I mean, going into this race, we knew with their PB so far apart that it'd be very tough for Hug to, come out on top of this race. But I mean, in this category, there's just so much that could happen.
All right, Rhino went for the standard E-Pogo. I think a few days ago, he dabbled a little bit with the Wii Pogo setup.
Yeah, it was kind of funny. On one of his streams, he was like, "Should I go for ePogo or WePogo, guys?" And then immediately bombed it and failed the run. So I wonder if that was just a choice he was consciously making, because it is a very tough variation of ePogo. So
Yeah.
especially in a race setting, you'd rather play it safe than sorry.
Yeah, it's either gain 2 seconds or lose 7 seconds, and maybe you want to try Wii Pogo again, and then you fail it again, and you lose another 7 seconds or so.
Hmm.
But yeah. Oh dear, what is Rhino doing? Is he going to Fungal Wastes again? Oh no.
Oh no, guys,
No,
what's happening?
yeah, so the movement up until the Aspid Arena after Claw is very similar to the movement after Cloak.
He spent a
Uh,
very long time just maneuvering to different places off of that bench in the mound. We're
part of
seeing.
that is because we don't have Dream Gate, unlike many other of the longer categories.
Hmm.
So we have to spend a lot of time walking or dashing from place to place.
Hmm. Also, looks like Hug landed Epogo first try. Very good for him. We're seeing Rhino move on to one of the harder boss fights in the run, Rue's mother.
Uh, she's unbeatable.
Hmm.
I'm not sure how he will handle this.
Hmm. Looks
And
like
she's dead.
wow.
What?
What? Oh my god! Major glitch. Looks like MrHug now has Mantis Claw. I think he had a little bit of trouble getting up there with just the Mantises not lining up too well on the pogo. But, comes back from it, then goes get it. Goes and.
Yeah, looking at his claw time, I think it went pretty well actually. His split, I don't think went over 2 minutes.
Mhm. Oh, very good job from MrHug. See Rhino buying Shaman Stone. This is a very strong charm that we abuse a lot in the run, because it just makes our spells super strong, and because we do not upgrade our nail, it allows us to just absolutely melt some of the bosses.
Mm.
You see Rhino with the legendary technique of killing someone after he dies. He did not pick up any extra geo for it, which I think is the main reason some runners do it, especially just because it's kind of funny too. But
And
he
there's
lands
the
a shade.
reason for the suicide. You
Yeah.
pogo off of the shade, and then use your wall jump to go up. You can actually do this without Mantis Claw, which is done in True Ending,
Mhm.
and I believe it can even be done dashless,
Yeah, I think
but
it can.
the setup is even more difficult.
Hmm. One thing I will say for RhinoFeeder's credit is last night he talked about how he had not gotten a fireball for the past week, and looks like he'll manage to keep that trend going, which is very fortunate for him, because whenever the shade fireballs, you just waste a little bit amount of time.
And those few seconds, it's something you don't have control over, and it sucks, you know.
Hmm. Anything you're not accountable for is just not very fun.
Oh, Herman chat reminding us of the Great Hopper shade skip,
Well, the
which
best category.
the only category in Hollow Knight.
Hmm. There are no other runs except the Great Hopper percent. Inevitably, they will get there.
All right, Hug now has his very own Shaman Stone as well.
Hmm. And now we're gonna see Hug go for the legendary technique of getting hit 5 times for fun. Unfortunately, he does not have enough soul to go for the fireball.
Sad.
Very sad. All right, and now we move on to, at least on Rhino's side, we're seeing basically our money farm for a little bit. This gorgeous has dropped 420 geo. Nice. And it's
Very
just
nice.
such a significant amount, and we need it to go get dash slash.
Ooh, Rhino got all of it. Very nice.
I
You
think
love to see it.
I was not looking at MrHug's screen, but I think he messed up Shade Skip. because it looked like
I
he had to
think
die
so.
again. That's very unfortunate. And a
Oh, and a
fireball.
fire.
That's yeah, making the right play to just go and reset that shade.
You know, when the shade can be pretty volatile if if you don't entirely know how to set it up, this trick can be terrifying.
But good job from MrHug. He managed to correct his mistakes, and now he's moving on to Blue Lake and then King Station. We're seeing RhinoFeeder now, moving into Kingdom's Edge. This is just a
Yeah.
little detour
Oh,
from the main route.
oh,
But
this is interesting. Normally, Rhino has 3 soul going into the hopper room, but this time only 1 hit. So I'm wondering what is happening here. But apparently the hopper got stuck in the corners, so it worked out regardless
yeah,
soul-wise.
worked out for me. Now he's hit the magic number that he needs, and now he's just going to go pay a visit to Oro.
Oro?
Oro? Is it Oro? I made this mistake yesterday too. There you
This
see,
is
Great Hopper, the
Yes,
best enemy
it
in the
is
game.
indeed Oro.
Let's go. Okay.
We're good.
And
That's
yeah.
the speedrunner mindset.
Yeah, and dash slash arguably one of the more important skills that we get in this run because this allows us to do so many lever skips, allowing us to reach areas a lot easier and quicker.
Oh yes. On this patch, dash slash actually kind of breaks the game a little bit.
And you'll see it a lot coming up as we move into Sanctum. All right, sort of looked like MrHug and Rhino were sanked, but it's seeing as they're both here at King Station. But Rhino, quite a fair amount ahead at this point.
Mm. Alright, so there's still kind of a split between taking top route and bottom route in city. I believe bottom route is very slightly faster, but the top route can give you a little bit more soul if you play it right.
Rhino having a little bit of difficulty with those elevators. And, alright, misses his first attempt at the Spire Pogo, but very quickly recovers. And we're seeing MrHug just finished off with that gorgeous husk. Ooh.
Okay,
Ooh.
this is
Rhino.
interesting.
There we
There's
go.
this
Okay.
place there where you can up slash and hit the lever from through the ceiling, quite literally.
Thank you, Team Cherry. But yeah.
And RhinoFeeder uncharacteristically missed it a few times.
Yeah.
You know, it can happen. When you miss it once, it becomes kind of hard to set it up because you have the 2 Rabas
Yeah.
floating around.
Yeah, those guys are just so hard to deal with. Seeing a nice welcoming story from Rhino as he heads into this next room, and that's something that you'll see Rhino abuse a lot in the run. It's a minor glitch, so we're allowed to use it in the no major glitches category, and it just makes us a little faster.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what kind of hopper strats Huck goes for now. With 2 soul, I'm not sure what you're able to do. Oh, I see. He decides to aggro the primal aspect early, and recognizing that he has enough geo, he forgoes one of the hoppers.
Oh, gets sniped from downtown. And now we're seeing, if you just saw on Rhino's side, he just did one of those lever skips we were talking about with Dash Slash. And now we're seeing him pick up Shade Soul a lot earlier than you normally would.
Yeah, normally you would need to rescue Sly, then go to Dirtmouth with 800 geo in your pocket to buy the elegant key. When you have the elegant key, you can open this fancy door. Oh, that was a really nice elevator storage there.
Very nice. Yeah. And that's something. You'll see it when Rhino comes back down through that way too. He'll do another one off the elevator he just got off of. Here's another lever skip coming up. Hits it. Oh, little trouble with the elevator, but doing good. It looks like MrHug has also gotten Dash Slash and is now going to make his way towards Sanctum.
Alright, Rhino wasn't able to get the quick kill because When the Soul Warrior moves forward, it becomes very hard, if not impossible, to perform a Shade Soul double there. And you need 4 nail hits and 4 Shade Soul hits in order to kill the Soul Warrior. Oh,
Yeah.
RNG is really not on Rhino's side right now. This
There's a reason a room in Sanctum is known as Hell Room, largely because this area is just so RNG dependent on whether or not the Twisters hate you or tolerate you.
Fortunately, / allows us to skip the Hell Room,
Yeah, it's
so
very nice.
at least the worst part of Sanctum is not present here.
And now we're moving into the Soulmaster fight. This is, in my opinion, the best themed boss fight. Because even
Oh
though Soul
yeah.
Sanctum sucks, and, really just ties it together. Looks like MrHug opting to go kill at least one of the sentries on his side just to make the lever skip a little easier. Very textbook start to the fight from Rhino too. Looking very clean.
Ooh, almost got the quick kill, but I think one of the Shade Soul doubles was missing. There we
Yeah,
go.
I think so. Very good recovery from him, and now he's moving on to phase 2 of the fight, and then after that, he'll go get dive.
Alright, it seems like by this point, Rhino is going to be behind his PB by a fair bit. We're looking at least a 30-second deficit. On MrHug's side, which I'm checking right now.
Oh, hey, it looks like Rhino is done with phase 2 of the fight. Just as MrHug. Oh, this Twister is giving him a little bit of trouble. Looks like he's
Ooh,
not
yeah.
opting to use his soul for a bizarre reason. Maybe he just wants to use it to heal.
I would believe so.
Sanctum is a
But
very skate.
MrHug should still be roughly on pace here.
Good for him.
In his PB, I'm seeing a 1942 in the Shade Soul split.
There's another lever skip coming out of Rhino, and he does cool little wall clink storage to get up that wall faster. As we see MrHug going up for the lever skip to Shade Soul.
Yeah, Hugs' PB is 102.16. And now he should be ahead by a decent margin. Who knows? We may see the double PB. 2 PBs in one day.
That was a very weird dive from Rhino, how he just like barely hit the edge. Yeah, it was a fake dive. Honestly, not sure if it was intentional, but it was kind of cool, not gonna lie. Alright, and now we're seeing Rhino
There
done
is
the
a few
same.
spots, I believe, in current patch all skills where the fake dive can actually be more useful than a normal dive.
Very interesting.
I remember Erdo, who is a pretty high level current patch all skills runner, talking about how the fake dive can optimally save a second or two.
Oh, looks like the Soul Warrior has given MrHug a little difficulty. Manages to make it through though, with relative ease.
Yeah, and this is also the last point where Geo matters. So or where Geo really matters in the run. You can see Rhino already has 299 Geo, so he will need only 1 Geo to unlock the King Station, and after that, the Geo rounding becomes trivial.
And now we're seeing Rhino take this bench. It's an extremely important bench as we come back to it after a very long time. So you're gonna have to play very well to avoid, major time loss. Seeing MrHug now entering the Soulmaster fight.
You were talking about how great this fight is, and honestly, I have to agree. It has the perfect amount of theatrics.
Just the way he rises up in the back.
The build up, the second phase,
Oh,
it's
flawless.
basically all there.
Absolutely floored me in my casual playthrough.
And then, of course, the loud screams.
Oh, that's the best part. I love getting my ears blown out as I'm wearing my headphones, Alright, MrHug through the first phase, moving on to the second now. Looks like he's playing it a little bit safer than Rhino. Doesn't want to get hit trying to do all the up/slash shenanigans.
That is very fair. If
Mhm.
you're not as confident in your ability to kill the Soulmaster quickly, you can still get this amount of soul pretty quickly.
Mhm.
Mm,
Looks like
Rhino.
MrHug doing the legendary technique of skipping past the fight just directly into dive with freeze frames.
Should we get a ruling on this?
I don't know. It seems kind of like a busted technique, you know?
Then again, it does also use up the same amount of time that you would normally spend.
That's true. It does. So I don't know. It'd really be up to the top level players to decide.
Mm. Okay, so we can see Rhino is now entering Crystal Peak.
Crystal Peaks is
Pretty
one of the sections in the run that has some of the cleanest and most precise platforming, and it's overall a very consistent segment. So it's exciting to see this one done to its fullest extent.
I've heard people make comparisons to the Celeste Mountain from time to time.
Aren't you a Celeste runner?
I might be.
Based.
But yeah, that's because we have a mountainous area, pretty movement intensive, a lot of strats, and a few cycles, even such as this room, which Rhino is in right.
Mm-hmm. Gets God
Hey,
Pixel. Very good job from
wow!
Rhino. That's honestly one of my favorite chicks in the run because it just looks so goofy. It really shows you how broken this game is.
In this case, it's in a good way because this is a very skillful technique, and you love to see a good God Pixel.
You really do.
Oh, I think MrHug only has 269 geos, so you might have to kill a few extra enemies after diving down.
Mm-hmm. Which good thing is your dive, it does kill those enemies. So you should be able to pick it up pretty easily. It looks like Rhino's opting to do damageless here.
Yeah, I think he said he was going to do that during tourney races
On
because
it, that's a
it
smart
only
idea.
loses a few seconds compared to the damage tank.
Woo!
And
Underplat.
underplat, woo! Woo! Can we get some woos in chat?
Who's in chat? Yeah. All right, now we're seeing Hug. Yep, going around just killing the little husks.
And that should be enough geo for Hug.
Yes, very good job.
So yeah, this part, the Crystal Peak section up to Crystal Heart, is basically ripped from any percent.
Mm-hmm. Very little difference. And now it's
Almost the same loadout except for dash slash and having to hit one of those levers.
It looks like MrHug. He missed this very tricky jump, which I don't blame him for. It's remarkably precise and it saves not a lot. But it's kind of funny how everyone, like almost universally, everyone goes for it. Also, pay attention to Rhino's Walkling storage there. It's
Very sick wall cling storage.
that might be my favorite instance in the game.
Oh, oh no.
I might opt to reset the room here. Or I guess kind of forced to reset the room here. Hunters are vicious. So is this dark room. Because when you get hit in a dark room, since we do not get lantern in this category because it's expensive and we don't need it, it sends you all the way back to the start.
Imagine if you got sent into the middle of the room without even knowing
Oh,
what you're
yeah,
surrounding,
just a
with only knowing your
completely
immediate
random
surroundings.
place.
That would
Oh,
actually be worse.
oh, absolutely. What if it was just a random location every time? Which, I mean, in theory, then the optimal play is to just dunk and then pray you get good RNG. Oh, looks like Rhino's getting not too great here in the crystallized mound. Doesn't hit
And
that poke, gets bullied by the hunter. Now we see a
but
very funny trick coming up.
he does have enough health to pull off this funny
Mhm.
little hazard reset.
Oh, I love the slide. And you see, that just lets him get out of here faster, as now he has Descending Dark, and he can just leave while the cutscene is going.
This slide and the seer skip in any percent, same energy.
Mhm.
So yeah, we're coming up at about the halfway point of the run, at least on Rhino's side. Getting the Dream Nail is about 50% through the runtime. After this, it's mostly grabbing Dreamers and the last few skills.
Mhm. Mhm. We're seeing MrHug opting to not go for Pogax, made by Axe to You. It's this cool little trick where you can just get up and go around a little faster. It's not too much of a waste to not go for it, but it's a fairly cool trick to see.
Oh yeah, since people in chat are asking, it doesn't look like it will be fixable without
Uh,
literally restarting the stream.
and I think at this point, it's way more impractical to do that.
We can, however, switch to Hug's audio and see if that will do us any better.
Moku Batese. Me too.
It doesn't seem to have much more volume.
It's still desynced a little bit, right? At least it is for
Yeah,
me.
it's also not particularly loud, which I think was the
No.
main issue. But yeah, it's gonna be all right. We can fill the dead air, I think.
We can try. Alright, we're seeing Rhino go back to that very important bench we talked about.
Yeah, this is basically the entire reason we're not allowed to take a bench during all of Crystal Peaks.
It looks like Hug's opting to do damageless in this room too. It's very easy to do as you literally just wait a couple seconds.
Yeah,
And it looks like he hesitated too much there. Was not able to make the cycle. We'll
which is
see if he
gonna
goes for
take
it.
an extra 5 seconds. Adding to
Mhm.
that Underplat and a bit of Soul Collection. The Soul Collection is very reasonable. It's
Mhm.
easy to forget that Totem exists, but it can provide you with some much needed HP.
Mhm. And now we're seeing Rhino move into any percent Watcher Knights, and this is less of a fight and more of a cutscene. And that's not to downplay its difficulty. It's you can just melt them with Descending Dark.
Yeah, if you know how to handle this fight, it's over in less than 30 seconds.
Mhm. I don't want to
Meanwhile,
commentate or curse, but this might be a hitless watch. I'm so upset. Anyways, Mr.
you,
Hug moving through this crusher room. Let's not talk about that. Ooh, very good job. That looked kind of janky how he got stuck off the wide but didn't get crushed, but makes it through. And now he's moving into Dark Room, which is, as you saw with Rhino, a very tough spot.
I'm assuming Hug will go for some C dash strats. Yeah, killing the
Yeah, it
hunter at
looks
the
like it.
start. And then the rest of this room is basically just C dashing. And if you hit a wall, you jump up and you C dash again.
Optimally, that is a fair amount slower than just doing it dashless, but it's also quite like significantly safer. So in a race setting, it's completely reasonable. Looks like we're
All right.
seeing Rhino done with Lorian.
Rhino has one Dreamer under his belt. Two more are left to go. One of them will take a very long
Uh
time, and the other one will be kind of. Oh, oh
oh.
no.
I look like Hug's opting to try and get some soul from this little guy. In a
That can be
very.
very dangerous. The window to hit the fella is somewhat tight, and
Ooh.
if you walk too far forward, you can literally just die right there.
I did not like that pattern from the hunter, but it looks like he's through cleanly. Also opting to do the early control, which you can't really get hit after this point, so it makes sense. Sorry, hold on.
No worries.
Yeah, I had a
In the
freeze on my
meantime,
screen.
we just see Rhino backtracking from Lurian's sleeping spot
Hmm.
because dreamers hard save you. So
Hmm.
you cannot save and quit from a dreamer. You have to actually dash all the way back to where you want to go next.
Which unfortunately, the same thing happens with Soulmaster, which means we can't just leave Sanctum quick. But it looks like a RhinoFeeder through with a spike tunnel, which is a fairly precise trick where you skip needing to kill Dung Defender to get to
Mhm.
Ismas.
Yeah, next up is the first Isma C dash. Very nice.
Now let's see the second.
I don't expect Rhino to fail any of these.
Oh, that
He
was a
doesn't.
very dangerous commentator's curse, but good thing it paid off in Rhino's favor. Looks like
Oh,
Rhino's frozen for our end,
yeah,
but
Rhino is starting up the teleportation technique.
hopefully he'll land the Whorp only control. Looks like he
Ooh.
does, seeing as he's green.
The swag particles, you love to see those.
You really do. That's the time save energy in real time. All right, it looks like MrHug's now done with Dream now, so he's going to be moving back up to Watcher Knights and Lurian, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna do another pace. Hug is now roughly 20 seconds behind PB, which is
That's
still very
respectable.
winnable.
Yeah, that's very good.
Meanwhile, Rhino, I think, led a fair amount.
Hmm.
Yeah, Rhino is also about 40 seconds.
Hmm. Still, these are very respectful runs from both of these characters.
Mm.
Runners. Mm.
Everyone is a character, even the speedrunners.
Mhm. All right. And now we're seeing
Mm.
Rhino go past the spikes that Team Cherry put in, which honestly, I think those are just the funniest thing just ever made. Just imagine trying to C dash through a basin and then you just get hit because the devs hated you.
Yeah, I may have gotten hit there twice in my casual
Oh,
playthrough.
same here.
And I may have fallen down at the Geo Rock
Ooh.
once or twice.
All right. All right. Hug getting ready for the teleportation technique. Ooh, looks like he lands it, skipping past the first cycle of Watcher Knights. As we see Rhino first try on the little basin skip there.
Ooh.
So
And
that's what you love to
now
see.
gets to kill Broken Vessel with full HP. Okay, Rhino decided to heal.
Hmm.
And unfortunately, we're not seeing anything else at the moment as both
Yeah,
teams seem to be frozen.
they're both going for the teleport. We'll see who it pays off more for. Looks like Rhino's figured out his teleport. Fairly far in Broken Vessel. It looks like Hug managed to skip the entirety of Watcher Knights.
That is remarkable.
Yeah, very smart technique. Haven't seen that one since '97, but you love to see it, even in the modern day.
Someone in chat just said, this new meta is really boring.
I mean, look, you gotta play optimally to be the fastest, and sometimes that means not playing for the people, which is very unfortunate. I'm a big believer in swag over time save, but in a tournament setting, it might be better to go for time save.
Hey, a case in point, swag over time save. Rhino went for the swag particle early control.
Yeah, incredibly good job from Rhino. All right, Hug done with Lorian, and then Rhino done with Monarch Wings.
I have to say, Hug is keeping up pretty well so far.
Yeah, he's doing a very good job.
And actually, that Watcher Knights fight was good enough to put Hug back on PB pace.
Wow, yeah, The teleportation trick's kind of broken.
I will not say anything besides that to prevent a commentator's curse.
It's already set in stone.
Alright, Rhino is now coming up on... Okay, this is pretty subjective. I would consider this the best fight in all skills, because not only is it an actual boss fight, it's also the most complex one in the category. We're gonna have to fight the Hornet Sentinel slash Hornet 2. She has a lot of HP, she has a lot of fast attacks, she moves around a lot. She's not as easily staggerable as many other bosses. You can still get her in a stagger loop if you play the fight outright. But it's definitely a severe step up in difficulty compared to, say, Watcher Knights or Broken Vessel.
Yeah, Hornet 2 is sort of like the any percent Watcher Knights. It's a very big roadblock for both new and old runners alike. I guess not old, experienced is a better word. Hug, first try on the spike tunnel.
Nice.
Very good job. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Rhino is not going for the safety bench, it looks like.
I don't think someone of his caliber expect to really struggle with this fight. So therefore, no safety bench at all.
You know what? That's a fair play. We'll see if it works out for him. I know that he's put a lot of time into Hornet 2. We're gonna see Hug gets the Whomp only early control, and then lines up for another teleportation glitch. We might need to have a community vote.
Yeah, not getting as many double hits as he would like. I'm seeing one double hit.
Yeah.
So
but I mean, still, he's only been hit once.
When Hornet is in the corner like that and using her needle throw, then you can usually just Descending Darker instead, which will deal 8 more damage than a Shadesel double hit. It's not much, but it's something.
Good job. Audio's a little desync, but sounds like he's through. And yeah, there's the confirmation. Yeah. Only gets hit twice, so smart play, not going for the safety bench. Gets a very cool walkling storage.
I'm not entirely sure why Rhino heals right here.
Yeah, it's I don't know, I guess just for safety. Even though there's, I don't know, just for comfort.
Alright, so Hug is in the basin now. Currently grabbing the bench and then making his way over to the Broken Vessel and the Monarch Rings.
Alright, there you go. You saw a cool little trick where you charge a nail art and then you can just get up a lot quicker. And if you saw yesterday's race between Sylvie and I'm blanking on the other Insom, Sylvie and Insom, you see that you can go invisible there, which is qualified as a major glitch and would invalidate your run.
Did someone perform the major glitch accidentally?
Yeah, Sylvie did. They were behind by so much. They were like, it doesn't save time. It's kind of funny. But you know what? More power to him. It was kind of funny. Yes, we're seeing MrHug move through. These Moliks, big guys, they're very annoying to deal with. Looks like he's just going to farm some more soul from them.
If you manage to stay on their like very erratic cycles, then you can make it through without getting hit at all, except for one, which is kind of RNG. But if you don't entirely know how to deal with them, this is a pretty frustrating section.
And we see RhinoFeeder. Get your King's Pass Peepo arrives back as we return back to the beginning.
King's Pass Peepo, but he come back.
And now Hug starting Broken Vessel.
So yeah, during Broken Vessel, basically you're going for a lot of the things that you would go for in Hornet 2 actually. So like Shade Soul doubles when Broken Vessel is a decent distance away from you, and during the headbang attack you want to spam Descending Dark.
And very clean fight from MrHug there.
And meanwhile, Rhino is not paying a visit to Gorp, but instead going down to the Nail Master's HUD.
Very unfortunate.
And grabbing Cyclone Slash. Poor Gorp.
Now, Cyclone Slash, you'll see it a lot more in current patch runs, but while using it, you drop a lot faster.
I think it's a very recent development because this category has been pushed a lot since the tournament was like planned and announced. Cyclone Slashes in many cases are actually a bit faster than inventory dropping because a Cyclone Slash doesn't reset your fall speed when you start it up. So during like many mid-sized drops, it can actually be a lot faster. And then of course you can use it for early control like Rhino did just.
All right, good job. It almost looked like he was going so fast he was going to hit a drop that was already down there, but I just barely missed it. Now we're seeing him head towards Monomon.
Oh yeah, Umu, the bane of all runners. This isn't even a category thing. Umu just kind of ruins a lot of runs.
At least in this category, we can be done with the fight extremely quickly due to the existence of the one cycle.
And even that is somewhat random.
It's tough.
Yeah. Okay, as far as I know, I might be wrong on this, but as far as I know, Umu's drift, or the length of Umu's drifts in between attacks, is random each attack. And if it's accumulated 5 seconds or more, then Quirrell will appear and strike his first attack. If not, then you will get an extra attack, which can make the setup that you're about to see infinitely harder.
That sounds correct. What I will say though is Rhino, he was saying that if Umo gives him an extra attack, he's not entirely sure how to deal with it. So we're going to hope for the good RNG here, and hope that Rhino manages to hit this one cycle.
Generally, you want to try and keep Umu in a circle, moving in a circle, so that it basically is at the same position after the extra attack as it was before, which can be very hard.
Looks like he does not get it.
Nice.
And what did you see? We want to push Umo as far out of bounds as we can, because then our fireballs can begin to double a lot easier.
Inside the wall, Umu will not get any knockback, but out of bounds, that knockback is applied against, which is why we can get the double hits.
Yeah, very good fight from Rhino. And we're seeing MrHug move into Hornet 2. Yeah, it's a very tough fight. So I'm excited to see how he handles it.
More beginner runners tend to use Descending Dark a bit more here because of the obscene amount of invincibility frames it gives you.
If you have, you can just spam it and stay perfectly invincible.
Another pretty safe strat that we just saw Huck do was using the Dream Nail to collect soul while Hornet is staggered. Now, if you're not confident enough in your movement to pull off the good soul collection on Hornet 2, then the Dream Nail is a good alternative.
Yeah, going for it again. Ooh, and then gets it with the Descending Dark.
Nice.
Very good fight from MrHug. They both Rhino and MrHug only got hit twice. Unless MrHug is healed and I'm just blanking on it.
Oh, this is important. On the other side, right here, we have the Great Slash split for Rhino, which he has vocally said he finds to be the best split by far. And it is a pretty movement-intensive split with a fairly high skill ceiling. We couldn't see all of the archives climb due to another teleportation glitch, but I assume that Rhino went around the left side, which is actually faster, believe it or not.
Looks like MrHug did not opt to do the early control out of Hornet. You said you had their splits up, right? Do you know where they are relative to PB?
They seem to be about even. It's still within 10 seconds.
It's very impressive from both of them.
And I'm checking Rhino as well. Yeah, okay, Rhino is going to be pretty far behind by this, at least a minute.
But hey, a minute behind, like, what, 51? That's still phenomenal.
So yeah, you can just see a lot of this movement is very planned out, very methodical in the Great Slash Split. And there will be a small cycle at the end, but none of this is actually very RNG based.
No. And that's something Rhino's very vocal about, wanting to have accountability for his actions. So less RNG, the better.
I find, would Deep Nest fall in the same vein? I cannot think of any instances where there's a lot of RNG during the Hera split in all skills at least.
There's that one little spider, but otherwise, yeah,
Then
there's not too much. Yeah, good job meeting the best, meeting Bob Ross out there, getting Great Slash. So, Rhino, doing very well.
yeah, Rhino is about a minute behind. You know, as a high level runner, you generally want to play with a minute or a minute and a half of your PB during a no reset run. So I think Rhinos are performing up to expectations here.
We're seeing chat point out that the devout backing up is another RNG thing in Deep Nest, and
Oh
that spider
yeah.
RNG is avoidable. But I challenge you that the devouts are spiders. Checkmate. GG's. Nice knowing you.
Yeah, the devout backing up, depending on how you kill the devout, it can definitely present an issue. There's like very experimental setups which use nail arts. I think you use a great slash and then a shade soul, and that can also kill the devout. I don't even think it has enough time to back up in that case, or I think Rhino goes for it, so we will just have to see for ourselves.
We will. Now we're seeing Rhino move into Florida, the way he's going to have to fight all these mosquitoes. Yeah, this is it seems very easy, but I feel like I see a lot of people struggle with it. But it looks like Rhino makes through very cleanly.
You can go off the rails here very easily. Very little of the race arena is RNG, but only if you don't mess up at any point.
All right, and now MrHug, he's making the journey over to Monomon.
I'm interested to see what kind of setup Hug goes for. I would assume at his level a safe 2 cycle, which would look probably a little similar to the any percent setup.
I'm excited to see. I'd pop off for 1 cycle.
Oh yeah, that would be remarkable.
And now we're just seeing Rhino moving around through Queen's Gardens. This is an area in the game.
We're not gonna see a lot of it here.
One of the basically the only cool part about it is right here. As you see, a Rhino gets hit, and then all of a sudden he's out of lever, because this game is made very well. So whenever you get hit there, it just hazard respawn and puts you all the way at the end of the course.
Yeah, the hazard respawn hitbox in that room was originally just copy pasted several times, and so because of that, there's this one corner where you can just kind of fall into and then suddenly respawn at the bottom.
Thank you, Team Cherry.
while I was talking, I kind of started stuttering because Rhino got slammed into the spike.
Oh yeah,
You do hate to see that.
you really do. All right, now we're seeing Rhino move in towards Dark Deepness.
Ooh, that was a very clean inventory drop. That is pretty precise.
Mm-hmm. And now MrHug, looks like he missed the 1 cycle, but 2 cycle is definitely still on the table here.
Yeah, especially with this amount of soul that Hug has right now.
Yeah.
Oh, tries to go for
Goes
a
for D
descending dart.
Dark.
That might have failed the 2 cycle.
Yeah. I think if he just went for Shade Soul twice, he was in the clear. Because he only got hit by like the first part of D Dark, right? I guess not the first, but just one.
Okay, so there we saw a little bit of that
That,
spider RNG that TK was talking about earlier on Rhino's side.
Mhm.
The spider fired pretty early and it was a little too low. So Rhino had to take the damage and move on.
Now, 2 HP in B-Sten is about as low as you would want to be. But we do see MrHug now done with Umo and on his way to go kill Monomon.
Luckily, you know, even a 3 cycle is probably not run ending at
And there's the devout
was-
backing up that chat was talking about.
is
That's
is this considered a commentary curse?
kinda, yeah.
Damn it. We just cannot get rid of these.
I'm so sorry, Rhino. All right, it sort of looks like they're synced up now, based on the way that they were both taking a dreamer. But Rhino's
Rhino is
lead looking kind of
one full
insurmountable.
dreamer ahead.
Yeah.
It would have to take multiple deaths in the abyss for Hawk to catch up.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, I don't expect Rhino to have something. I don't expect for Rhino to have something like that happen. But Sibling Climb can be mean.
Even then, usually the RNG is nice enough that you don't have 2 catastrophic sibling climbs right one after another.
Mm-hmm.
And even then, after a death, I would expect one to go a lot more cautiously.
Mm-hmm.
So 2 deaths and sibling climb are probably not happening.
No, probably not.
All right, I think we're gonna need an anti-curse here because we may have just doomed Rhino's fate.
Oh no, Herm. Herm, please.
We need an expert in anti-curses. Herm, please help us.
All right, we're seeing. Yeah, I don't know why I started talking there. There's just standard movement happening between both of the runners. MrHug now moving up through to go get Great Slash, right? And RhinoFeeder heading down to
Nice
the
cycle.
abyss.
Up
Looks like he's
until now,
going for swag.
I was wondering why Rhino didn't go for as many cycles. A nice swag door, by the way. I think a few physics frames earlier and Rhino would have bonked.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Very clean job from him, though.
Yeah, there's a lot of cyclone slashes during this section. Maybe they've been skipped in the teleportation glitches.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
All right. Let's see this from Rhino. Oh.
During the sibling climb, you want to. Okay, it sounds rude when I put it like this, but you want to abuse your sibling.
Oh no.
Now that I said it, it sounds
Alright,
even
get water
worse.
out of here.
No, you want to pogo your siblings to make it up there.
Yeah,
more
pogoing
quickly.
gives you your wings back so you can get more jumps, more movement all around. Ooh, a bonk from MrHug. Looks like they just didn't cancel their C dash in time. But now they're through this area.
Can we just act that I didn't say anything in the past 30 seconds, please?
No, yeah, sure.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Rhino managed to skip a cutscene, or not even managed. Rhino skipped the cutscene that you would normally have when obtaining Shade Cloak.
It loses time, RTA, but since this category, or yeah, every mainboard category that's not on console is timed in loadless time, you just want to abuse that as much as you can.
And I think we also saw the Dream Nail early control. If during the load back in you press your Dream Nail button, you have immediate control and don't have to wait a second with your knight just kind of waking up or standing there.
Yeah, very good job.
And one of the last things in the split is just the soul collection here. 2 hits on one of the crawlers and 1 hit on the last. And then you jump up into the middle, use your Howling Wraith, and it gets upgraded.
And it looks like Rhino's talking about the end of Infinity War because we are in the end game now. So we're seeing him pick up his last skill, and now he's just going to schmoove toward the THK fight.
Yeah, the Abyss Climb. I think I heard Underline say once that the Abyss Climb is the most like a Celeste section.
Base Celeste runner.
It's not just that. It's because it kills your hand to practice this section. You can just see how many inputs Rhino has secured right now. You're seeing a lot of pogos, a lot of wings, a lot of dashes.
It's a very clean segment, and it's really fun to watch and see all the clean movement. The only way to really make it.
Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I believe the world record is under 30 seconds now for this room.
I think it is, yeah. But yeah, I was gonna say, it's not really like Celeste until we get good input handling.
You had to go there.
Look, I'm sorry. I gotta say what I gotta say. Looks like we missed it as we were focusing on Rhino's climb, but MrHug now has the first part of Scream, and now I'm moving down through. Ooh, messes up the liver skip.
I found that the dash slash timing is kind of weird to get used to. Especially when you have great slash, it's easy to kind of either dash and then just great slash, or not dash at all because you let go of the nail button too early and then you great slash before you're able to dash.
And then you see another stop from RhinoFeeder, doesn't get locked in the fall. Are we gonna see any funny shenanigans from him? No, we are not, sadly.
Would have loved to see a helicopter knight right here.
I think MrHug is the winner. Yeah, MrHug goes for something cool.
Would have been insane. Yeah, MrHug just wins by default now. Sad.
If you're not playing for the people, who are you even playing for?
I mean, okay, to be fair, people do often say speedrunning is really more often man against the game or runner against the game.
Well, that was really unfortunate for MrHug. He hit the moss fly to heal up, and then right as he finished healing, it drifted into him. So he just wasted 3 soul for nothing. Which that's just not what you want to see.
Rhino is currently in literally the last minute of the run. This fight will only take 40 seconds around Rhino's level. Actually gets the double scream. That means Rhino's already fairly close to killing the Hollow Knight outright.
There's a chance he just misses the last scream entirely. Because he's doing
with this attack, it's possible. Yeah, I think so.
Good job from Rhino. GG's.
The scream skip. All right,
absolutely legendary.
That's gonna be
Is this sub 52? I think it is.
No, it's not 52
so
and 2 seconds.
Wow, very good run from Rhino though.
Yeah, playing within a minute of your PB is basically all you can hope for, or all you can ask for in a no reset race setting.
Yeah, 52 on 1. That's right. That's exactly a minute.
Right. We will switch to Hug's audio, and I will mark Rhino. All right, and now we get to observe how Hug handles the deepness. Also manages to get kind of iffy spider RNG, but makes it through all right.
All right, now we're here in Distant Village.
Come to think of it, we haven't done a pace pretty long.
We have not.
Yeah, okay, so Hug is entering beats then at 53.48, and Hera split in PB is at 54.09. It's looking like Hug is about 20 seconds or more behind.
He's doing a weird version of the... Yeah, I don't understand what the...
I think it was like there was a bit of discussion about whether that Crystal Dash setup was faster or not, but in the end it just kind of ended up equal speed.
Oh, this is bad.
Oh,
This is
not
scary. This is scary. Oh
This is
god,
a
Mr.
bad-
Hug, Mr. Hug.
Hug, please.
Hug, please. This is not what you want to see at all.
Okay.
All right, chat pointing out that left side is faster. I'd wager it's not faster if you miss it. But yeah, makes it through. Very scary situation.
Oh, that could have been really, really close.
Yeah, good job from Mr. Hug. Very clean job.
While the credits roll on Rhino's screen, Hug will also pay a visit to the Abyss to get the final 2 skills.
Yeah. It's going to be really exciting to see his Abyss climb. These devouts are just not...
The devouts are not on Hug's side right now.
No, not at all.
He will have to take one of the benches.
Yeah, luckily there is a bench just right here.
Yeah, there's actually 2 benches directly on the way. You can take the basin bench.
That's true, you can.
Which would be faster in case Hug expects a death during the Sibling Climb.
I'm surprised that he didn't just take that bench to heal.
Oh, unfortunate. We don't see any of the fast bell setups at all.
We do.
I think Hug was trying to get one going, but I think the timing might have been off. And we do indeed see the basin bench right here.
Very good job from Mr. Hug. Beautiful bench. I put it at a 10 out of 10, honestly.
Oh dear. I'm afraid some people in chat may see something unsightly on Rhino's side once the interview time comes.
I'm not entirely sure what you mean by unsightly, honestly.
Well, it will be unsightly to them. I am in support of it. But
I think we're going to see something beautiful.
First off, we're going to see this beautiful inventory drop. The Abyss inventory drops are wonderful. It's if you execute it right, you only have to inventory drop twice, and you make it all the way down to the bottom of the Abyss.
If only you could do that in reverse to get up.
Oh, imagine inventory dropping, but reverse.
All right. Moving on to Sibling Climb. It looks like Mr. Hug.
Yeah. He's taking a pretty safe route, using a lot of the platforms and not very many of the siblings. Note that I used... Note that I said used, not abused, okay? This is important, please.
Oh, see, now he's just got the swarm on him, and that fall was really unfortunate.
All right. Hug managed to make it through all right.
Yes, makes it through with only one hit. Very good job from them.
I think we're gonna see two pretty good runs overall here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and
In
now we're
fact,
seeing
we
Mr.
have already. I'm sorry, sir. You go
No,
ahead.
no. You go ahead.
I will not. I didn't really have anything of value to add
Oh,
either.
me neither. That's why that's why I asked
Oh
for you to
damn!
say it. Very good commentators up in here. All right, we're seeing the
We're seeing a.
legendary head of going to the options menu.
Sometimes you want to check if VSync is enabled or disabled.
But yeah, I almost feel like that. Yeah, or not that I feel like that quit out definitely. It just waste time because you did it so late and after the slip up in the menus. All right, so now we're seeing MrHug. Just have to get a bit streak, right? And then they're moving on to THK.
Mm-hmm. I'm interested to see what kind of Abyss Climb Hug has. You know,
Yeah.
there's a few like I'm not gonna say low level. I'm gonna say like beginner mid level runners.
Mhm.
That practice the Abyss Climb a lot, and then it stands out as like a highlight of their run.
Mhm.
So maybe we're gonna see something like that today.
Mhm. Looks like some fairly different soul collection from Rhino, just going ahead and smacking the first one as much as possible. But they're doing a good job. They're going off to go get the Abyss Shriek.
Yep. And this is a
Yes.
little early for Rhino's side.
I'm very
We
excited to see where
we
Rhino's going.
we will try to pay attention to the Abyss Climb.
Hmm.
I'm I'm not sure how easy or hard it will be.
Hmm.
Ooh, Huck hitting the wall during that C dash. It doesn't lose a lot of time, but it is slightly in.
Overall, I'd say this is a fairly safe Abyss climb so far.
Yeah, not.
Ooh, going back around for that, that's a cool little trick.
Ooh, I have never seen that before.
Uh,
Really.
thank
Yep.
you, Rhino.
There's the Mila kill.
Oh, you love to see it. You get to see two cool things on stream right now. You get to see the cool Abyss climb and the cool Lila kill. That's just, I love this community. MrHug looks like he is done with the Abyss climb. Overall,
Yeah,
I'd say it was a little safe, but it was pretty efficient.
this is good.
Mhm.
Fairly clean climb. 5 hits of soul, no hits taken, no benches needed. I
Mhm.
assume Hug will still take a safety bench just in case
Like,
a THK death happens.
mhm. Now, are they still on PB pace, or are they just too far behind at this point?
Mm,
I
yeah,
actually know
they
that answers the question. They only had 3 seconds.
world record pace.
World record pace. Oh my god.
This is incredible.
Oh
Get your
my god.
pogs in the chat.
Oh my god, MrHug, how do you do it? Now we really got to talk about those teleportation glitches. Now he's moving into the timer rollback. Really is phenomenal.
Uh, yeah. So Rhino in chat mentioning the PB that Hug posted earlier today. We are currently comparing against that. So in that PB, the Shriek split was 57:43, and the Scream split was at 1 hour and 19
Oh,
seconds. So Hug is
unfortunate.
said to be a minute behind.
Yeah, very unfortunate. It looks like we also did not see Rocket Knight or Helicopter Knight or the Fireball Knight. Very sad. But I guess, maybe Hug's holding on to like a chance that he'll be able to pull this back.
I'm not gonna lie, or It's gonna take a really good THK fight to make this
Mhm.
up. And when I say really good, I mean really, really good.
Really
A
good.
minute and 6 seconds. I think that beats a lot of people's goals.
Mhm. Go for the D Dark. Looks like only one hit of it hit, which is very unfortunate. Goes. All right, seems like it's gonna be more D Dark heavy than Abyss Scream.
D-Dark doesn't deal that much less damage.
Mhm.
4 hits of Abyss Shriek is 120 damage, and all hits of D-Dark is 88 damage. But D-Dark also has the added invincibility
Oh, that's
frames,
not good.
and
That's
oh
Hollow
no,
Knight was going for him. That was like an Olympic level jump. Oh, at
they
the
are
Mr. Hug.
out for blood right now.
Mhm.
Okay,
All right.
is this a self-stab scream? Good,
Mhm.
good, very good.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yeah. Mr. Hug taking this opportunity to heal. Very smart idea. Looks like they're saving one extra soul for the Shriek. Very smart idea.
Yeah, right there you can basically see why going for Shrieks is pretty hard
Mhm.
in this fight. You have to be very close, you don't have a lot of invincibility frames. If you get hit
Mhm.
too early in the Shriek, you just don't get any hits outright and your soul is lost. And that's
Mhm.
gonna be the final scream.
Yeah, their Hug looks like the gonna be finishing this very soon.
Oh, a self-stab at the last second.
Yeah, I'm not going to. You're not taking me down. I'm going out on my own terms.
And that's gonna be a 102.55 from Hug. Or no, I'm stupid. A 102.50.
It looks like a RhinoFeeder. Not to take away from Hug's completion, which GG's on that. But it looks like RhinoFeeder. He golded his King Station split and his THK Scream split, which is pretty
Nice.
nice.
Nice, very nice.
Yeah,
That
GG's
is
from
gonna
both
be
runners.
GG.
Yeah, very good job from both runners.
I believe Huck should receive the invite now, and uh, both of the runners can come in for the interview whenever they're ready.
Mhm.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello. GG to both of you.
Yeah.
Those were
Thank
two
you, thank you.
respectable runs.
Mhm.
Thank you
Very
very much.
Thank
exciting.
you.
All right. So first off, how are both of you feeling right now? Are you satisfied with your performances?
I mean, anytime in a tournament or a no reset setting, I can run within a minute of my PB. I'm happy, and I think I barely did that. So there's definitely some things I want to work on for the future races, but I'll take the win and be happy about it for now.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah,
Very
and
clean
seeing
run
that
from
6
you.
hours ago this would have been a PB, I'm pretty happy too.
Yeah. Very good runs from both of you.
Yeah, Hug, you were ahead of your PB a fair amount of time. So
Yeah, it was really back and forth. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think we're gonna see a sub-hour from you pretty soon.
I hope
Definitely.
so. It would be cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Or do you think there's like a few sections that you could have done better, or which you're gonna work on after this race?
Yeah,
For me,
yeah,
sorry,
go
go
ahead, Rhino. Go ahead,
No,
Rhino.
okay.
You go first.
Oh, okay. For me, definitely, everything in Sanctum went pretty poorly for me. So I definitely like to revisit some of those splits. I lost about like 16 seconds on Shade Soul and then another 15-ish on Dive. So I'd really like to revisit that. And then just a lot of late game stuff was. I don't really think I had any glaring issues, but just a lot of very sloppy movements, losing 2-3 seconds here and there. So I'd say definitely the Sanctum splits are what I'll be looking forward to in my next practice session.
Mhm.
Yeah,
you,
and for
Hug?
me, everything after Ubu. So especially Hera, I've been getting more and more inconsistent at it. So that needs some looking at.
Mm.
Mhm.
The late game is very important. You know,
Mhm.
people often reset in the early game very often, and they get their early game practice that way. But as a result, the late game is neglected, which
Mhm.
you usually don't want to see.
Yeah, exactly. That has been happening a lot for me. So yeah, that, I'm noticing that
Yeah.
more and more.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that sentiment. It's definitely a thing with a lot of runners where, you know, when we're doing our PB attempts and just resetting the first 3 splits over and over and over again, that sort of acts as a bit of practice. And then it's why I think we see a lot of runners, myself included, obviously here, who have early games that are disproportionately better than their PBs and their late games. So I think what you just said is a very big reason of why that begins to happen. So very important for everyone. Practice your late game.
Thank you for the advice. I'll take it to heart.
There you go.
Do you have any more questions to the runners, TK?
I mean, not really overall. I mean, they played very clean. Both of them played to about their fullest extent. So I don't know. It was a very good race. Unless you guys have anything specific you want to talk about, I feel satisfied.
No, I just like to say good game to MrHug and best of luck with the rest of the tournament.
Same to you, man. Same to you.
Yeah. Cool. Round 4 is about to come to a close tomorrow, and after that we only have one more round of Swiss left. And then it gets really serious. The top 16 bracket is going to have a lot more stakes and a lot more high-level races.
Yeah.
So yeah, if no one in chat has any questions, we would end right here. Once again, GG's to both runners. Thanks for the Mila kill, Rhino.
Yes. Oh.
I debated, but it seemed to be a crowd favorite. So. Yeah.
Oh, speaking of Mila murder, we have a question in chat. When will you do modded Mila murder times 100?
I'm not looking at chat right now, but is that Adam? Hi, Adam.
It's Plegian.
Oh, please. We'll see. Maybe if I can find some time. That's funny.
All right then.
Right then.
Yeah, thank you guys for coming out. A lot of fun.
Yeah, thank you guys for calming the race, and especially Water for hopping in last minute. I really appreciate it.
Absolute
problem.
Gamer.
It was very fun calming with you, TK.
Oh, it was very fun coming with you too, Water.
So yeah, on SpeedGaming 2 right now, we actually have another race going on at the moment. Forest versus Palm. 2 very skilled runners. I expect that to be a reasonably close race. So if you're hungering for more all skills content, you know where to go. Alright.
Alright.
Alright. Thanks, guys. Really appreciate it.
Once again, GG.
Yeah,
Have
GG.
a nice night, everyone.
Have a nice night.
Yeah. See you, everyone.